Hey guys, welcome back to the video. I hope you all are doing absolutely fine. First of all, I would like to thank you for your responses and the interest that you have shown in my latest LinkedIn post related to machine learning and deep learning. So I also received a lot of messages from you guys. You wanted to know the approach that I had and you wanted to know the resources that I followed. So here I am making this video for you all. So before jumping right into machine learning and deep learning, I would like to speak a little bit about my coding background. So I started coding exactly in 2014 when I was in my articleship, where I just randomly landed up on a VBA article which described how to make a game in Microsoft Excel. So since it included Excel, it just got me interested. And I read the whole article and I just copied, pasted few bits and pieces of code into my VBA editor, and that was my first experience of VBA. So after that, I made a lot of different files, programs, small games. For example, I made a game called Mental Math, wherein you'll be thrown up a lot of questions and you just have to answer it. And on the background, it will calculate the time that you're taking to answer and your accuracy and all those stuff. And this way, I made a lot of things. And even in my journey of CFA and FRM program, I made a lot of models. I made a lot of different sheets, Excel spreadsheets, just to back my theoretical knowledge and have a little bit of practical data and crunch those data. So my coding journey in Python started exactly at the end of 2018, or you can say beginning of 2019. But I would like to tell you that before starting my Python journey, I had previous experience on the basic logic of coding, and that is really very important. You need to slowly and gradually, if you start coding and if you take up small projects, you will basically slowly and gradually develop that logical reasoning which is required in coding. So no matter whatever language you are expert in, or even any language, if you know R or VBA, anything, you can right away pick up Python because it is very easy. It is completely user friendly. The syntax is very easy, and you can pick it up in a snap. So it all started during this 1 month gap during my employment, when I was being converted from a contractor to a permanent employee. Now, in that 1 month, I was completely free, and the next thing that came to my mind was adding skills. And that time, Python was a very hot topic in the market. So I was randomly searching in YouTube, and I landed up on this amazing channel that is Clever Programmer. So the guy teaching here, his name is Kazi. He is an amazing guy, of course, and the way of his teaching is absolutely crazy. I mean, it feels like he's a friend who's teaching. Is not he doesn't sound like a tutor. He's just kind of a friend of yours, playing around with stuff and concepts, and he taught me really well the very basics of Python. And his YouTube playlist ended to a point where he got me to the point where I would be able to build a game, tic-tac-toe game. But then of course he directed me towards a link which was his paid course. But at that point of time, I was having no intentions of paying for learning Python, because there is so much out there for free that you need not pay for anything. So I started my search in Coursera, and I landed up on this particular specialization, that is Python for Everybody. And this is by Charles Severance, and he's an amazing teacher. And as you can see, he's the top instructor in Coursera. This specialization has 5 courses, and it basically covers everything, getting started with Python to data structures to connecting your Python files with web, and many more things like Beautiful Soup, and connecting with databases, Excel, SQL, all those stuff. And at the end, it had a very good capstone project, which basically was a practical application of few things that you've learned, right? So as a whole course, this course is really good. The specialization is really good. It might take you some time to complete it, but I would highly recommend this course because to a beginner, this course is really good. So what I think is, no matter how many courses or lectures you do online, you'll only start learning when you actually get your hands dirty. So you need to start coding. Of course, you'll fail thousands of times, but when you debug, that is exactly the point you learn, right? So I'll just share one instance. In one of my exams, I had to create a data structure, okay, a table, and I was not at all familiar with pandas library. So it really took me 2.5 hours to get the data structure presented in a specific way I wanted. I failed, I tried again, I failed, I tried again. I tried that for 2.5 hours. But then what did I learn? I learned how to search, scan, and understand the library documentations, which I will be talking a bit later. So that is the whole funda. You fail, you debug, you learn. That is how you learn coding. So after completing this Python for Everybody, I jumped to another course in Coursera that was Fundamentals of Computing Specialization. This is offered by Rice University. So this specialization is quite extensive. It has 7 courses in it, but I started with the first one. I completed the first one. I went to the second one, and the second one was amazing. So basically it moreover it deals with the GUI part of Python, that is graphical user interface. So after completing the second course, I was able to make this particular game. Isn't it amazing? But then I thought that I'm a finance guy, and I don't have to do a lot with GUI. So basically left this particular specialization, but I was really very satisfied making that ping pong game. Now, apart from 2 courses in Coursera, I would like to recommend you this particular channel, that is Edureka, and they teach really well. They explain really well. So after this, for Python and machine learning, one of the best article section that I would recommend you is towardsdatascience.com. So I guarantee you search anything in the internet related to Python or especially machine learning and deep learning, you will surely find Towards Data Science articles 100%, and those are really good. So this particular website is subscription based, but I highly recommend that you check out this particular website. Whatever issue that you're facing, whatever thing that you want to know, someone would have definitely had the issue and they would have discussed and solved it already. So those solutions you'll get in Stack Overflow. So this website, or this, I can say, forum, will never disappoint you. You'll definitely get all your answers, if not all, then probably 90% of your answers from this website. And as a resource, I came across this cheat sheet thing. Recently, I read one article in LinkedIn, and it really helped me in one of my latest exams that I gave. So I was having some issues with 3D NumPy array, how to create the 3D NumPy array and how to manipulate 3D NumPy array. So I just clicked on the first link, and here you go. You have the cheat sheet in front of you. So cheat sheet is another resource for you. One of the most important things that you need to build up with time is reading, understanding the library's documentations. So the documentation in scikit-learn is very organized, and you can see it's completely organized. And if you have any question relating to any regression algorithm, you can just go there and you can probably select the regression algorithm, logistic regression, and you have all the documentations out here. You have many examples as well. So I would recommend you to spend more time reading these documentations, because at the end it is the Bible for all the libraries. In deep learning and machine learning, you would come across TensorFlow and Keras as well. Keras documentation is really very famous because it has some amazing examples, and those examples are small projects itself. So this is a very highly recommended documentation that you read. Now, there can be different IDEs or environment that you can be using for editing your code. So the one which I would highly recommend is Jupyter Notebooks, because you can see this is one sample of my Jupyter Notebook project, wherein you can have the analysis written over here, you can have the codes and the output as well. So I believe this is a very good platform to have your analytical coding being done. So you can have the analysis, you can have your codes, your output, everything in one place, one long PDF. So Jupyter Notebook is highly recommended. If you're starting off, you can start off with Jupyter Notebook. But then again, you can try PyCharm, or you have Atom, you have Visual Studio, you have different things. But that's your personal preference. But to start off with, I would highly recommend you Jupyter Notebook. So the way to install Jupyter Notebook is you first have to install your Python, and after that installation you have to install Anaconda. And after installing Anaconda, you can go to Anaconda command prompt and just write Jupyter Notebook, and it will start a kernel which will open the Jupyter Notebook for you guys. And if you're having any issues, you know what to do. Search in YouTube. And thank you so much guys for watching this far. I hope you like the content and the resources that I shared. If you like this video, please hit that thumbs up button, and do share it with your connections as well, so that they're also aware of these resources and even they can start off their journey. Thank you so much, guys. See you in the next one.